One of my classic friends, actually, is a company that, a little petroleum company, no differentiated product whatsoever, all commodity chemicals, but they differentiated themselves in a commodity market by its service and its responsiveness. And here's the classic structure. So somebody calls on the weekend of Christmas with snow and says, I need a barrel of this stuff for my drilling rig, and the Harris Brothers people will go deliver that. And what the founder CEO will do is on Monday he'll walk by and put a $20 check on that guy's desk. So the sense of immediate response, immediate reward to an immediate action has helped those guys differentiate totally in a commodity market. Skills. Many times the best way to characterize the company is by what they do best. Dominating attributes, capability is the definition of skills. Organizations facing big discontinuities in business conditions must frequently need to add a new capability, that is to say, a new skill. Anna Babbitt is now the head of United Way, but when she took over Catholic Charities, she had an organization that had these kinds of skills, which were mostly the skills related to the social service they provided. And what Anna added were skills for advocacy, skills for fundraising, and skills for management. And if you follow the if you follow the history of Catholic Charities, what Anna created when she was the head of that, it is very dramatic change. But one of the key variables she used was skills. Oh, 7 S's, there's actually an 8th. Michael Cooper of Ziegler Cooper Architects and I have published an article in an obscure journal, but that's okay, where what we have written is that our work with clients, collaboration of me with Michael, designing interiors and workspaces, has led us to identify that space can be an important change variable as any of the other 7 S's. Do any of you do interior construction work? I want you to think about this, because organization change can really be reflected in the workspace. So if you're doing that kind of relocation or rebuild work, that's a golden opportunity to identify the work and the look and feel of the space with the 8th S. And here's back to the example of where Michael Cooper and I worked with Michael Berg. The space S at the bottom, what they had before Michael Berg took over was traditional department office assignments, 100% closed private offices, separation of executives within all departments. And what they ended up creating, as a matter of fact, the one phrase that Michael Berg gave to his architect, he said, when they get off the elevator, I want them to say, we're not in Kansas anymore. So the image was a very dynamic space design, and team neighborhood assignments related to business processes, not to departments. 80% open, very high visual transparency, attractive with many open group areas. So not at all times do you have the opportunity to use space as one of the variables, because that means you have to do something with your space. But it could be and has been many times a very key variable. So I'm coming to the end. I think I did that in about 20 minutes, so we'll see how good everybody did. Any questions or comments about the 8 S's? You're just afraid I'm going to collect the papers, aren't you?
People in my office, we have some pretty nice offices, and they are enclosed. And we have tried to get them to embrace opening up, and they do not want to do it.
There's a statement. People don't want open offices. And you know what? Nobody wants Dilbertville. So really the whole question is, how do you do that in such a way? Number one, everything costs, right? Number one, matches cost with comfort, but creates a different, what is the classic Hawthorne experiment? They turned up the lights and productivity went up. This is 1917 or something.
Yeah.
They turned down the lights and productivity went up again. So the point is, when you pay attention to workers, sometimes just the paying attention causes them to work differently. So here would be my bet. Probably all of 50 cents, but here would be my bet. If you made that change, productivity would go up. There'd be grousing. There'd be whining. Productivity would go up. That'd be my bet. I don't know whether I should make the bet or not. Other comments or questions? Anybody? I shan't collect the papers, but I do ask you to consider this. If you're thinking about growth, we could sit down and we could say, all right, we're going to double our revenue. Well, what does that mean? In what way we're going to double? Why are you doubling your revenue? What is the true superordinate goal? Make more money? That tends not to carry much freight. What is the real difference you're going to make? And then by mapping that out and thinking through all the dimensions, you really should have a work plan in literally each one of these areas. How are we going to go from here to here? Are we going to go from here to here? What are we going to do about this and this? So I wish you well. I know there will be growth, and I want you to make sure that you have all the tools you can to do the best with that growth. Thank you, Pat.
Thank you, Joe. This wraps it up for us. There's lunch going to be served out right out here in the cafeteria area.